anything, you can get a personal loan for it. But, as our money man Michael vaguely warns, there are loans and there are loans. And there's a lot you should find out before you borrow.
When it comes to borrowing money, the cost of it is least understood by most people, especially if you're going for your first loan. Terms like flat and reducing rate, fixed and variable, and that famous rule of 78 can be most confusing.
Never heard of it.
No idea at all.
And what sort of loan do you have, a flat rate or a reducing rate loan?
Flat rate. I think it's a flat loan.
I didn't really know and I didn't really care.
Right.
We got the loan, that was the main thing.
Nothing don't like money can.
Let's try to explain a few points. As an example, we'll look at a personal loan of $10,000 to be repaid over 5 years. With repayments of $266 a month over 5 years, both the 12% per annum flat rate loan and the 21% per annum reducing rate loan are the same. The difference is that if you decide to pay out the loan early, you'll do a lot better with your reducing rate loan because the interest payments are spread more evenly over the term. For a few tips on how to get a loan, here's Richard Stone of Westpac.
The first thing they should do is obtain literature about a personal loan, then study the literature, work out what their statement of position is, their income and outgo, and then make an appointment to go and see the bank manager and then be open and honest with the bank manager.
Do you need to tell the bank what the loan's for?
Yes, we like to know what the loan is for, basically so we can give the customer advice. For instance, a young person coming in wanting a car loan might only think that he has to make the repayments for a car. We would suggest that he also has to pay the insurance. So if they don't take those into account at that time, they may have problems down the track.
What happens if you're having difficulties meeting the repayments?
The first thing is to come and see the bank as quickly as possible. The banks are caring organisations. We want our customers to be happy, and I can assure you that we will do our utmost to try and assist that customer. We have the difficulty is when the customers don't come and see us and we have to contact them.
And of course, you must always read the fine print. There's more to a loan than just the interest rate. Some loan sharks charge compulsory life assurance of up to 10% of the value of the loan, compulsory sickness and accident insurance of up to 15% of the loan, and that's before establishment charges are added. Your $10,000 loan could turn out to be a $13,000 loan, and then there's the interest bill on top of that. Let's compare the cost of a personal loan from a bank, building society, credit union and finance company. Although there aren't any loan sharks amongst them, the repayments vary a lot. A finance company loan costs nearly $2,000 more over 5 years compared to a bank loan, and that's only the interest rate difference. Consumer credit insurance, although not compulsory with these lenders, would add a further $2,100 onto the loan.
Money's on, loud and clear. It's a voice that you're glad to hear.
But don't forget, borrowing money is the easy part. You've still got to be able to repay it.
Nothing don't like money can. Another day on.
I've got to pick up on that comment that banks are caring organisations. It makes them sound like a benevolent society or something.
Hardly, Joe. The rates of interest I just checked before coming on air tonight, and they're around about the 20% mark, and I don't think that that's terribly exciting if you do need money, but provided you're getting a reducing rate of interest, that's the key to it, because it's not as bad as it sounds, but gee, 20% is not good, is it?
No, it's not. And Michael, what is the rule of 78 and why is it important?
Well, the rule of 78 is really something rather complex, but it's a simple way of calculating how much interest you'll be paying each month out of your monthly repayment. Now, let me give you an example. With our $266 interest, our monthly rate, in the first month of our 5-year loan, we'd be paying as much as $257 of interest. In our last month of repaying our loan, 14 cents of our $266 is interest.
Michael, we hear of the corporate giants borrowing money overseas. Is that realistic for personal loans for the ordinary guy?
Well, not for amounts of $5,000 or $10,000. You know, when you're talking overseas borrowings, you'd be looking at $500,000 plus.
Right, but that's very low interest rate, is that right?
Yes, but you've got the currency risk, as a lot of farmers found out a few years ago when they borrowed Swiss francs at 5% interest and then found that the Australian dollar fell by value in half compared to the Swiss franc, and their capital loan doubled.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks very much for
Thanks,
that.
Joe.
So, Terry, you can't borrow overseas for that F40 Ferrari.
Okay,
No.
got it.
After this break, a Live at 5 exclusive coming up.
Next, we meet the star of the most controversial film of the 80s, Willem Dafoe, in the role of Jesus Christ.
Tonight, the final enthralling chapter.
Hello, little girl.
Alice